Hey y'all, how are y'all today? Welcome to VW Family Farm. I am actually going out to pick the garden and I thought I'd bring y'all along. Lane and Emily's over here hanging up laundry. I won't show you our laundry on the line. They say don't show your dirty laundry. Of course, it's clean laundry, but still. Actually, I'm showing you, ain't I? Anyway, I am going out to pick the garden. Later this week, Jeff from Bobblehead is coming over. We're really excited about that. We are going to be processing our meat chickens, and he is coming over to possibly bring a few roosters, mainly just visit and video and hang out. So we're really excited about that. So I've got a short week this week. I've got to get the garden picked, and then what I pick I've got to get processed, and I need to get the yard trimmed up some. It's getting out of hand. I'm trying to mow as little as possible this year. We've got the sheep that we move around in some places, and I have to do some trim up work, but I hate spending my time mowing. So, but I got to get all that done before he gets here end of the week, and it's time to pick stuff, and I just thought I'd bring y'all along with me. So I'm going to put you down over here. I'm back here at my back garden. I'm going to pick squash and cucumbers and things like that first. Then the kids and I are going out front and check on the beans. So let's go. Okay, as you can see, some of the squash plants still look really good. Down here at the end, the lemon squash are just coming on. I'm going to come down here and pick a couple of these. But then I'm going to show you some of my squash are not doing so hot. I think we've got vine borers. So look at that beauty. These are our favorite type of squash from Baker Creek. Lemon squash. I really love them, love the flavor, and they're just cute. I'm gonna go ahead and just pick this one too. It's a little small, but I'm not gonna be out here till probably end of the week again. This is beginning of the week. I'm not sure what day you'll see it, but it's gonna be a few days and this would get too big. Sometimes if these get too big, just like any other squash, the skin will get tough. And so I like to pick them when they're still small enough and tender, where I don't have to try to peel them or something. And sometimes there's no peeling them and them getting tender. They're just too big. So trying to avoid that. Looks like I've got a straight neck ready. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm suspecting vine borers. They just kind of lay down overnight. We've got a couple of them like that. And the ones that have laid down are right beside each other, so that makes me think a pest. And they're not really laying down in the middle of the day when it's hot. They're laying down like overnight. So I don't know. Around here, squash grows so fast. If you're having vine borer problems or squash bugs or whatever, you can always just start some more plants. There's all kinds of remedies you can do to try to get rid of them. Some of them aren't gonna work, some of them might, I don't know, but you could always just rip them out of there and just get some more plants going, because if you're in a long growing season like we are, you could definitely get several more plantings of squash before the fall. This plant looks pitiful, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick these golden zucchini off there. That's also a Baker Creek variety that I really love, and you can see these little bugs on it, so that could be the culprit. I'm gonna go ahead and actually pick this one too, because I don't know how long this plant's gonna survive. Okay, I'm gonna give y'all a little recipe the kids have been begging me to make. On a squash plant, I'm gonna show you here in just a second. There's female flowers and there's male flowers. The female flowers are producing a squash or a zucchini or whatever, and the male flowers just have a little stem behind the flower. You can pick off those male flowers and eat them. I made them one time and my kids have asked for them for like years ever since then. You can take them and stuff cream cheese inside of them. Gently rinse them off if you need to. Put cream cheese inside of them. Bread them in something. I breaded them in like Ritz crackers. You could bread them in whatever's permissible on whatever eating plan you're on. Almond flour whatever, and then heat a little bit of butter or oil in a skillet and brown them, or you can just bake them like that. You're probably gonna have to roll the flour and egg to get the breading to stick to it, but just play with the recipe. They're so delicious. Like I said, you can bake them from whatever. I probably didn't make a whole lot of sense on that, so let me say it one more time. Stuff the squash flour, male squash flour, with cream cheese, roll it in egg, bread it, and then either fry it or bake it on a cookie sheet. Let me show you an example of a male flower. Ignore the bugs on this plant. You can see this is a female flower because it's got a squash right there. But you can see this flower right here about to open. There's no squash on the back side of it. And this one, those are called male flowers. So those are the ones you would want to pick off and eat. Having a snack? Mm-hmm. All right, Emily, why don't you tell us what you plant this spring that you're excited about?
I planted bitter melons and they're starting to bloom, so I'm really happy.
You gonna show us?
Yeah.
It's got a flower. You excited?
Yeah.
It is pretty. How excited are you?
So excited.
I got a ton of spaghetti squash, but I'm gonna let those get a little bit bigger. I'll harvest those end of the week. Found a bean picker.
Yay.
You love picking beans, don't you?
It's my favorite thing to do.
Found another bean picker. You love it?
Yeah.
Or you just want lunch?
Want food?
You just want to get done so we can eat? You excited?
No.
Actually, me and Emily are going to pick these 2 rows of beans. They're kind of grassy, I know. And then later this week, I'm going to show y'all how I preserve them, how I can beans. And I've got this fence running down through here that beans are climbing all over. Should have some of those soon. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you. Let's see if it's got any beans. It's got some baby beans. We'll have beans off this pretty soon. And these are snap beans too. Alright, Em, you want to give a pep talk before we start?
I'm going to pick these beans so we can go get some groceries.
Okay, is that all you got?
Yeah, I don't got a good pep talk. Picking beans is the worst gardening thing.
Least favorite?
What are we doing?
We're quitting right now, and then we're waiting till later, and then we're gonna go, and then we're gonna come back and let it dry, and then we'll do it this afternoon.
What'd you say?
Said I'm already sweating, and I haven't even done anything. Except pick these.
Did you bring a basket?
Yeah, it's right there.
Found some gold.
Black gold.
Black gold. I love these blackberries. They make huge, huge blackberries. They're a tame thornless variety, so they don't poke you. We need to do some cleaning and training in this blackberry row. We actually considered like bush hogging the whole thing down and starting over, but I just couldn't do it because it is a mess. Like, we need to do some training of these vines and some cleaning up under them. But there's so much fruit here, I couldn't just trash them. We're in Central Arkansas, as most of you know, but this is our first real picking of blackberries. I got over half a quart, so blackberries are coming. If you haven't had any yet, don't lose heart, because this is our first picking and they're coming to you too. So if yours aren't ripe, I bet they're about to be. Right, someone just asked me the other day how the buckwheat's doing. So there's our beehives over there, and then this is the buckwheat. It bloomed out and it really needs to be bush hogged down now, and then it'll just keep reseeding itself if you let it bloom. And then we've been mowing it down. I don't even think you'd have to do that. We've also got, I'm gonna walk out in here and try not to get snake bit. We've also got these sunflowers. I can't wait for those. And Ben, I don't know if you can see it. Again, snakes. He threw some zinnia seed out here. I love zinnias. So There's zinnias. There is actually some of the pink buckwheat from Baker Creek that was, I think it was actually on their catalog this year. I don't see any right now. Like I said, it's kind of past the point of blooming. It needs to be mowed down so it can just all come back up. I want to leave these sunflowers and zinnias and not mow those, but the rest of it. But the bees are loving it. It's giving them something to feed on. And speaking of bees, we are about to harvest honey pretty soon, so pretty excited about that. Never know how much we're gonna get until we actually do it, but I'm looking forward to it. That's just another thing on our list to do for the summer, and usually we'll do it in the fall, store up what we need and sell the rest. So it usually goes pretty quick around here locally, because I'm sure y'all try to buy local honey to your area, and people around us do too. All right, so this is what we wound up getting: some squash and cucumbers. Of course, the blackberries I just showed you. And then I've got half a bushel of purple dove beans, Romas, and see if I can find some, because I got a cool bean in here I want to show you. And some dragon tongues. I really love these. These are from Baker Creek. Super excited about these. They're cool looking and they've done really good. So I picked 4 different types of beans I'm gonna snap together: the dragon tongue, the Roma, the red swan, and the purple dove. I love this purple dove bean. The funny thing is, these that are colored don't stay colored once you can them. I've already picked a whole bushel of a mixture of these type of beans, and my mom canned them, and she said they lose their color when you can them, so I thought that was crazy. I'm wondering if these are high in like anthocyanins, if those stay in there even though the color comes out of the bean. Maybe it stays in the jar. I don't really know. I was thinking about that, but anyway, I've got canning to do, and I'm going to show you all that this week, how I'm going to can these beans. I'll snap them and get them ready, and maybe I'll even show you that in case you're maybe you're a beginner and you've never done that before. Maybe I'll show you from start to finish how to can green beans, because it's so super easy. And if you're like me, for a long time I was afraid of a canner, but there is nothing to be afraid of. Now, you can't just set it to cooking and run off to the store or something, but as long as you're there keeping an eye on it, do not be afraid of your canner. Get that thing out, and we're going to use it this week. Thanks for picking the garden with us today, and I'll see y'all later. God bless.